Well, we got some massive coaching news for the NCAA this year. How big will it be come next year? That's a great question, but right now we got some big news. Huge. So, we're looking forward to getting into this. Thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate it very much. Before we get into the coaching carousel, that always seems to happen this time of year. But this one's big. I want to congratulate Navy. I was a little ahead last week on my college football playoffs. I was thinking they started this past weekend. They didn't. They start this next weekend. So, start on Friday, as a matter of fact. But I do want to congratulate Navy on a big win this year in the Army-Navy game. Can't believe I'm saying that because I am a soldier, Army. But that's all right. Navy deserves the credit. They played a great game. So, with that being said, let's get into it. We got a big one at North Carolina this year. Bill Belichick, the 6-time Super Bowl champion, head coach of the New England Patriots, has decided to go to North Carolina. And that's a massive one for UNC. So, we're going to see how that goes next year. We also have a big one at West Virginia. Rich Rodriguez is going to West Virginia as the new head coach. So, yeah, he and his family are looking forward to it. That's going to be a fun one to see, too. Great coach as well. But Bill Belichick, that one really hit it hit the NFL and the college world big time, finding that one out. That should be massive for North Carolina's recruiting, too. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Oh, boy, is that a big one. Rich Rodriguez at West Virginia, that's a big one, too. Let's see some of the other big ones, too. There are some smaller ones. UCLA hired Tino Sunseri as the new offensive coordinator and QB's coach. Purdue, UNLV's head coach Barry Odom is new head coach, which Purdue needed that. They're having a terrible season this past, couple of seasons. 1-11. Yeah, just terrible. Marshall hires NC State DC Tony Gibson as new head coach. That's awesome. Here's one that kind of surprised me. UCF rehires Scott Frost as its head coach. Now, Scott Frost for those that follow, was at Nebraska. And he kind of struggled at Nebraska, really, to be honest. Let's face it. 16-31 before he was fired 3 weeks into the 2022 season. So, yeah, kind of a wild one. Maybe he'll do better at UCF. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see. We had a couple other big ones here as well. Utah State, no. Fresno State, no. Michigan fires OC Kirk Campbell. Yeah. Now, they had a couple of big wins this year, but not enough, really and truly. So, 128th in total offense this season. So, yeah, that wasn't good for Michigan. And they don't need that. Nebraska hires interim OC Dana Holgerson for the full-time job. So, he will be the offensive coordinator. And then Oklahoma hires Ben Arbuckle as the new OC. So, yeah, some big things going on there, too. And like I said, some of these moves could be big for these teams, right? Big. UCF hires Gus Malzahn, Gus Malzahn is leaving UCF to become the FSU OC. So that could be big, too. Gus Malzahn was a head coach at Auburn for 8 seasons. So, yeah. That could be big, too. Now, as we've got all that settled, yeah, big news in the coaching. Got a big carousel going this year. A lot of stuff, a lot of movement, right? What's that going to mean for the transfer portal? Well, as of the time of filming this, I don't know how much that's going to mean, but with Bill Belichick going to North Carolina, Rich Rodriguez at West Virginia, et cetera, we know a few things, right? Know that Colt McCoy at Texas, quarterback at Texas, is looking. Could he end up in North Carolina with Bill Belichick? Feasible. Now, like I said, this is at the time of recording this. I don't know yet, right? Could also end up at West Virginia. There's a lot of places. He's a great quarterback, right? A lot of places he could end up. So what's going to happen in that, I don't know. But it's going to be wild to see. Now, as things progress, we'll talk about it as we go. But this coaching carousel this year, I mean, this was a massive one. Bill Belichick leaving the Patriots, that's huge. He's been there for years and years. A long time. So, I think that is going to mean a lot for the recruiting and the transfer portal at North Carolina. There's no doubt in my mind about that, right? I also think West Virginia's is going to move up too. And with Gus Malzahn going to, where the heck was he going? Yeah, FSU. As an offensive coordinator, that can mean a lot for them too. So, yeah, it's going to be a wild year next year finding all this out. But we're going to see what happens. I'm looking forward to the playoffs this weekend. We will talk about that next week, late next week, because next week is Christmas, right? So we're wishing y'all, and be sure to watch some games. We got some games on Christmas as well. I think they're on actually Netflix, as I remember seeing. So, yeah, gonna be fun to see. And the playoffs start this weekend. We'll talk about that next week, all right? I hope y'all have an absolutely fantastic holiday. Listen, don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate that very, very much. And be sure to check out our other channels, too. They are down in the description. Come have some fun with some music with us. But I will see y'all next week. Y'all have a great one. This is Old Pops. We are out.